What's up, guys? It's Dave Marshall with the RC Air Marshal YouTube channel. Today we're going to be doing the redemption flight of the Dynam P-47D Thunderbolt. Unfortunately, the first time I attempted the maiden, I put it into the catch fence at the field, and today we're actually going to show this thing flying. Before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn your notifications on so you don't miss any videos from the channel. Now let's get to the field and check out the flight of the Dynam P-47D.
All right, so we are at CCRC with the Dynam P-47 Thunderbolt. Now, if you guys remember the last time we came out with this poor bird, we wrecked her into the catch fence. It's since been repaired. We had a bad motor, so we got a new motor from Bitgo Hobby. So thank you to Bitgo Hobby for their support and getting this thing back up in the air. This should be our redemption flight, hopefully. And let's see what she can do. Taking off, left, right. All right, so now that we've got the P-47 airborne, I'll talk a little bit about the flight characteristics. It's actually flying fantastic. This is a great flying model. Now, I will say that the motor that Bitgo sent to me was the 650 kV motor. That was by special request. The 500 kV motor, I did fly the model with that motor, and it was slow, and it just didn't. Something was not right with it. It sounded like it had a bad bearing, so I, had asked Bitgo if they would send me another motor, and they did, no problem. This motor is much better. I'm actually only flying at about half throttle right now, so we're gonna. It's much better performance.
Time remaining 4 minutes.
All right, over here we're gonna go vertical. It seems like it's got plenty of rudder authority in the air. It's flying very well. And it's a nice hot day here today in Georgia, so the retracts on these Bitgo or on these, so the retracts on these Dynam planes will work great in the heat. It's got a nice scale roll rate.
Time remaining 3 minutes.
Big loop.
There's a bee chasing me.
Great flyer.
Time remaining 2 minutes. Minute.
All right, we got about a minute left of our timer, and we got the timer set, I believe, for 6 minutes. We're running a 3200 4S battery, one of the Spectrum Smart Packs, so we will see what our battery looks like here in just a second. I'm going to go ahead and add some flaps in and go ahead and bring our gear down.
30 seconds.
Landing left, right. I'm going to get landing flaps set.
20 seconds. 10.
You can see we've got that 3200 battery shoved as far forward as we can get it, and it just provides great flight characteristics, you know, a little bit of trim, and everything was good to go. These Dynam Warbirds definitely like that extra weight up in the nose. And they do real well with these 3200 milliamp hour smart packs. That was a 30C battery we were running in there, and let's see where our cells are at. Yeah, so we're at like 383, 382 across the board. So, you know, we landed right in time. We probably had about maybe another minute of flight time that we could have squeezed out of it, but I'm pretty happy with that. And that was on...
Timer reset.
That was 6 minutes of flight time above 25% throttle. So, great flight time out of the 3200 pack. And, you know, that was our redemption flight of the P-47. So it certainly flew much better this time. It didn't hit a fence.
So this flight was much better than the maiden flight. Obviously, it actually made it into the air. So the flight characteristics of the P-47D were actually really good. This thing is a great flying plane. I didn't have any of the complications with the build like I had with the FW-190 from Dynam. And even with the FW-190, I'm pretty sure that was limited to just that model. Now, with the P-47, I did notice that with the drop tank installed, it did obviously create a little bit of drag. It's kind of a big tank that hangs off the bottom of the plane, and removing that drop tank actually increased the speed of the plane by a little bit, not by too much, but you could definitely tell that it performed better and it was a little more nimble in the air. With the 3200 Spectrum pack packed all the way forward in the airplane, It offered great balance, and the Dynam planes do like quite a bit of weight in the nose. So if you're considering getting one of the Dynam Warbirds, rather than going with the 2200 pack that's recommended, I would recommend going with the 3200 4S pack, and you're going to get better balance out of the plane and just better performance overall. As I mentioned during the flight, the original motor that came with the P-47 was a 500 kV motor that comes stock with the P-47. When I let the folks at Bitgo know that I was having issues with that 500 kV motor, I believe it had a bad bearing, they were kind enough to send me a 650 kV motor as the replacement. And the 650 kV motor actually gets quite a bit more speed and puts the performance right where I would expect it to be for a 4S Warbird. So if you're considering getting one of the Dynam Warbirds that has the 500 kV motor, I would highly recommend going ahead and spending that extra money and go ahead and get the 650 kV motor right out of the gate. Overall, I'm really happy with the performance of the Dynam P-47D, and it's quickly becoming one of my favorite planes to take out to the field. If you're interested in picking up one of the Dynam P-47Ds or any of the Dynam Warbirds, be sure to check out our friends at Bitgo Hobby, and we're going to leave links down in the description. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and turn those notifications on so you're always made aware when we have new videos on the channel. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.